guys, welcome back to another recipe. And on today's recipe, I'm going to be sharing this pepperoni pizza on stovetop without using oven with you all. If you're interested, stay tuned and let's start making this. So for this recipe, I'm going to be using 2 cups plain flour. And I'm going to add in a pinch of salt, black peppers, and I will whisk this together to mix it up thoroughly. So right now I will get a bowl of warm water and add in 1 tablespoon sugar, 1 teaspoon dried yeast, and I will stir this up together and cover it up to sit for about 5 minutes on my kitchen countertop. So after 5 minutes, you can notice that my yeast is active. I will go ahead and add in 1 tablespoon of olive oil. I will stir this up together and transfer the wet ingredient into my dried ingredients. So right here, I'll go ahead and use my wooden stick to stir this up together to mix it up properly. So guys, for all the list and measurements of ingredients used on this recipe, I have them all listed on the description box. Do check them out anytime you want to make yours. So right now, I'll sprinkle in a little bit of flour into my bowl and I'll go ahead and transfer this into my work surface. So I'm going to be kneading this dough for about 8 minutes. You can see the texture of my dough. It's not very strong and it's not running. So I'll go ahead and knead this dough for about 8 minutes until I notice that the dough is no longer sticky. So right here, it's about 8 minutes. You can notice that my dough is no longer sticky. So I'll go ahead and transfer this dough into a clean bowl. I will wet my bowl with just a little bit of oil and allow it to rise for about 2 hours or more, or you can also allow this to rest in your fridge for up to 7 days without it getting spoiled. So right here, I have all the ingredients for the filling, which I'm using some mozzarella cheese, some pepperoni, green bell peppers, black olives, and pizza sauce. So I'll go ahead and grate my mozzarella cheese, which I do have a recipe on how to make your mozzarella cheese and pizza sauce. I'm going to be listing them on the description box so you can click on the link and watch them if you're interested. So after grating my mozzarella cheese, I'll go ahead and chop my green bell peppers into some tiny size, which is totally optional, but I would like you to add this to your pepperoni pizza as you are going to love the feeling of fresh vegetable on your pizza. So guys, this was 2 hours later. And you can notice that my pizza have risen a little bit, though the weather was very cold on the day. So I will go ahead and wet my pan with just a little bit of olive oil, so this will help me to stretch out the dough easily inside the pan. So right now, I'll go ahead and cut out the size of the dough that I'm going to use to make my pizza, and I will roll it into a ball. I will add in more oil to the top of the dough and start to use my hand to stretch this out. Adding in of the oil is going to help you to carefully stretch this out. As you know, this dough can shrink and go back into the little size while you're trying to stretch it out with your hand, of which that is so frustrating. But if you can't use your hand to roll this out, I would advise you to grab your rolling pin, transfer this dough into your work surface, and roll this out easily without complicating anything here, okay? So right now you can see that I have carefully rolled out my pizza dough. So right now I'll go ahead and get my fork and use it to pierce the dough so the heat will generate easily to the top of the dough and make it bake properly. As you know, we're not baking this in our oven. I'll add in some black peppers, which is totally optional, but I love it. And I'll also go ahead and add in my pizza sauce and spread this out. After spreading this out, I will go ahead and add in my grated mozzarella cheese. And I'm going to be adding a lot of mozzarella cheese, so it all depends on how you love your pizza. You go ahead and add in more or less cheese. After adding in my cheese, I will go ahead and start adding my pepperoni. And right now, I will also go ahead and add in my green bell peppers, black olive, so when I'm done with this process, I will transfer this into my fire and put it on the lowest heat and allow it to bake for about 12 to 15 minutes on the lowest heat of my stove. So guys, thank you so much for clicking on this video. If it's your first time here, you're welcome to Lydia Isaac TV. Please, if you love this recipe, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Click on that red subscribe button, click on the bell icon that goes with it so you will never miss any recipe from this channel. So this was 15 minutes later. My pizza is well baked on the stove top. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to drop me a comment letting me know if you find this recipe interesting, and don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Till I see you on my next recipe. Bye bye.